Welcome to Fox Valley in Focus. I'm Barb Nadeau. We have two great festivals we're talking about in our show today. In the first half of our show, we're going to talk about Yorkville Hometown Days Festival, and we're going to meet Tim Evans and Shay Remus. In the second half of our show, we're going to talk about Plano's Smallville Superfest, and we'll have Bob Hausler and Brad Gardner as our guests. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Whatever we deny or embrace, for worse or for better.
Underneath everything we are all people. And when we reach out a hand to one, we can influence the condition of all. That's what it means to live united.
Our first guest on Fox Valley in Focus is Tim Evans. He's the Director of Parks and Recreation, here to talk about Yorkville Hometown Days Festival. And this is a festival that occurs over 3 days over the Labor Day weekend. Tim, thanks for being here. Tell us, when are the days of the festival?
Yeah, well, thank you very much for having me. This year it's a little later. Normally it kind of ends at the end of August or starts at the end of August, beginning of September. This year it's actually the first week of September, so it's September 4th, 5th, and 6th over Labor Day weekend, so that Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And I know you've been part of this festival for a long time, working for the city of Yorkville, and that means a lot of running around, a lot of little details that have to be done to have all of this fun come together. For the person coming, it's like seamless. It's just a fantastic event. But for those behind the scenes, there's a lot to do.
Well, there is. And one thing I always tell staff getting into a festival is, we might know the mistakes, but the general public will not. And so, we want to make sure that when someone like you or someone from the general public comes in, they have a great time. They don't notice anything that's going on. If there is somewhere where someone didn't show up, a volunteer didn't show up, that we get it covered. Or if a band's running a little late, they don't notice the difference. And so that's what we try to do. And that's what makes the festival fun. It can be high intensity at times, but it can be enjoyable for the staff as well, because they get to go out and meet the community in these events in a little bit less informal environment than you would normally at the office.
I'm sure there's a lot of adrenaline and enthusiasm, and those smiling faces on the staff, that goes a long way. So I know there's a lot of little things like that, but you don't have to do that anymore. You were telling me before the show last week when we were talking that you've kind of changed roles a little bit, taking on your new position as Director of Parks and Recreation, that you're kind of overseeing the broader schedule. And we've got Shay coming up in a little bit. It's going to talk about the schedule highlights.
It has, and it's been a little different, but Shay's worked with us for a long time. I mean, this will be actually my 10th year involved with Hometown Days. And normally I kind of set the whole schedule. I made sure everyone knew where they were going, and checks were paid, bands were paid, everything was there. But this year, Shay's kind of taken the lead in the whole thing, making sure that the hour-by-hour details of the event are ready to go. And it's still being heavily involved in working with her and Scott Sleezer, who is our superintendent of parks, to make sure that we can put on a great show for the community. Ultimately, that's what Hometown Days is all about. It's about bringing the Yorkville community together, and a great way to end the summer season.
And I know that Shay's going to talk to us about some of the specific events that are happening. There's a lot of family-friendly events that are happening throughout Hometown Days. But you have to worry a lot about having great entertainment, because people are coming with high expectations. And you were telling me that you have a very special Friday night concert, something a little different. One of the members of the community is really stepping up to help.
Yeah, Cross Church, which is a local church in town, had reached out to us about bringing in a band. And they're bringing in a band called Citizen Way, which is more of a Christian rock band. And it's something different that we've never really been involved with. I mean, we're always looking to the community to give us input, not just on Hometown Days, but any of the events we do with music, about what type of music they would like. And this was one where we've had people reach out to us, not just from Cross, but from other church organizations, saying, hey, we would be interested if we could bring this type of music in. And we thought, this is what Hometown Days is about. It's offering different types of music that people might like. And so we're working with Cross, who's sponsoring the event. They're sponsoring the band that day on Friday night, and we're real excited to have them. I know they're a large Christian rock band throughout the United States, and we're lucky to have them.
Now that's Friday night, September 4th.
That's Friday night, September 4th, and since Cross is sponsoring it, that night it's completely free to get in. So that's a little different. Usually at 5 o'clock we charge $2 to enter the festival, but with Cross helping to offset the band cost, we will have that night free for everyone.
Okay, so Friday night is free.
Yes.
It goes September 4th, 5th, and 6th, and then is there always an admission charge then to get into the festival grounds?
Not on Saturday and Sunday. It starts at 3 o'clock. And so
Okay.
it'll be $2 after 3, and that's really to help offset. We try to provide great entertainment, great activities. A lot of them are free, and there's just ways that we need to help offset some of those costs. And while we have great businesses in town like Castle Bank who help sponsor these events, that doesn't always cover all of our costs, and so it's just kind of a small contribution we're asking for to help offset some of the costs to put this on.
And that's a great price. A family, can get in for less than $10.
You can, and I think on Saturday and Sunday, on Saturday we have a band called Red Woody. They're a local Yorkville band. They always bring a great crowd. We've got Billy Croft and the Five Alarm Band, which is a great kind of country rock band, and then we end the night with Mike and Joe. And then on Sunday you have the Yorkville Big Band. We've got Seventh Heaven, and then we end the night with High Infidelity. And for $2, it's a pretty good deal. If you go and see some of these bands at different bars or other festivals out there, they're going to charge $5, $10 to get in. So we think $2 is a pretty good deal.
You are really stepping up the entertainment. Three great bands on Saturday and on Sunday?
Yes, and that's one of the things that we as staff have kind of talked about, and we heard from the community was instead of just having opening acts that no one had heard of, they were like, can we get better bands as opening acts or put more bands together on a single day? And so that's one of the things that we tried to do this year was to really focus on having more well-known acts, really good bands throughout the day.
This is fantastic. You had said that you also have other community groups that are helping as well, and things that are coming together to make it even more special, like the craft show. Craft show's grown and expanded and moved. And
yeah. Well, Junior Women's had always done, they do usually a spring and a fall craft show, and they usually do it at our town square, and we've been talking to them for years about coming a part of being a Hometown Days, and last year was the first year that they did that, and they moved their Junior Women's Craft Show from Town Square to the Beecher Center, the festival grounds, and it was, instead of 1 day, it was 2 days, and they really enjoyed it because it gave them, their people that were coming to visit this craft show, they had other activities to do. There was a festival there was a carnival, there was food, things of that nature. And for us, it was just great to add another event to the festival that the community could come and say, okay, we're going to come and do the carnival with our kids, and we can go through the craft show. And that's one of many where we work with the library on doing their used library book sale on Saturday and Sunday. We've got different organizations that serve food and things of that nature throughout the weekend. So one thing that we as staff and the city has tried to do is to really make this a Hometown Days festival and to try to make sure every year we're getting another group involved with this event, and they're not just relying on city employees to make it happen, that the community really feels like they're a part of it.
wow, it's going to be great. September 4th, 5th, and 6th. In Yorkville. It's Yorkville Hometown Days Festival. We're going to take a quick break. We're going to say goodbye to Tim Evans, the Director of Parks and Recreation. We're going to say hello to Shay. Shay Remus is the Superintendent of Recreation for Yorkville. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Mom!
What?
You can't find Ichabod.
What?
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
It begins innocently enough. You don't return a phone call. You break a date at the last minute. But in fact, it's the beginning of a pattern. And soon, your friend with mental illness realizes you're avoiding them. But what if you knew that your friendship was the key to their recovery? Would you still lock them out of your life?
Shay Remus joins us now. Shay is the Superintendent of Recreation for Yorkville Parks and Recreation Department. And Shay, you started at Yorkville as an intern. Tell us about that. You've been with Yorkville for a while then to move on up.
Yes, definitely I have. I started as an intern back in 2007, and then I was fortunate enough that they offered me a job when I was done, and I started there as the athletic coordinator, and then just kind of moved my way up over the years as the rec manager, and then now I'm recently the superintendent.
That's fantastic. Good for you.
Thank you.
And you're enjoying your job, I know. Did you always want to get into recreation?
Definitely. It was something when I grew up, I looked into different what career path I was going to take, and stumbled across recreation and therapeutic recreation as well. But I went to college for it and have been in love with it ever since.
So you're in a perfect position because you've got the heart for the entire community, and that's really important. I think families need to know that when they're going to an event like Hometown Days, that there's that spirit and that love of every single person in the community.
Definitely. I mean, you can't really do our jobs with the hours that we work and the festivals that we put on and all the details that we have to work on without truly having a passion for it. And that's something I think Yorkville is extremely just special about, is that all of our staff that we have is very passionate about bringing quality programs to our communities, whether it's a special event, our athletic leagues, or even our child development programs.
Tim was talking with us in the first segment of our show about Hometown Days being September 4th, 5th, and 6th. It's Labor Day weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. It's going to be at the Beecher Community Park, if anyone wants to map it.
Yes.
It's located at 908 Game Farm Road.
That's correct. Yes.
And you can get there easily now. The road construction is cooperating.
Yes, definitely. That was always something as we were planning for our, Hometown Days this year, is that we knew we'd have that battle with the construction. And luckily for us in the town of Yorkville, that is moving along as planned. And we should be able, as long as you're entering Game Farm Road from Route 34, you should be able to get to the festival without any problems.
Okay. Free on Friday night. Saturday there is an admission.
There is, starting at 3 o'clock for $2 a person.
And then on Sunday as well. And Tim and I only were able to talk about a few things in the schedule. So can you give us the highlights?
Oh, sure. We have a mix of our favorites along with some new additions. I know you guys had talked about adding in our double headliners for each day, and that has been a really exciting addition that we've done for the 2015 Hometown Days. We also added in the Ultimate Air Dogs.
What is that, Ultimate Air Dogs? I saw that on your website, and I had no idea. What are we talking about?
It's a really great event, and it's new this year for 2015. It is actually a dog jumping competition where dogs come in and they jump off a dock into a body of water, basically just to see how far that they can jump. And there's a competition for it, and basically dogs are going to come out as a winner of being the furthest jumping dog in, I would say, the Yorkville, Kendall County area. And the really neat thing about it is that most people, I think, when they think of these events, is that it is for professional dogs, who go out and compete on a regular basis. But actually, you can bring your own dog from home and compete for the entire weekend as well.
Really? Now, there are going to be some trained dogs that are actually used to this, that are going to show the other dogs what to do?
Really, actually, on Friday night is from 5 to 7. They have an open dock jumping time. So anyone who has a dog who wants to try it out can bring their dog up, sign them up for just the open dock time, and they can jump in. If their dog does well and they think it's a really great time, they then can register on site for their dog to compete for Saturday and Sunday competitions.
I think that sounds like so much fun.
It is. I think it's going to be just a great addition for everybody. As a dog owner and lover myself, I do always look for activities to do with my dogs. You just can't bring them everywhere, and this is a great way to get the entire family involved, even your pets, to come out to Hometown Days. And if you don't have an animal and just want to spectate, we'll have some bleachers out there, and it's just a great spectating sport as well.
Wow, that's fun. And okay, so that's one brand new thing. Yes. Anything else that you want to tell us about we only have a few minutes, but
sure.
Maybe just tell us what you can.
Definitely. Just some highlights. We do have our baby contest on Saturday. That does start at 10 o'clock with registration at 9:45. That is an old tradition that we've done for many years and has always been a great hit with all the parents. It's for babies 0 to 18 months, and they can come, sign up for different categories, and try to see which baby wins each category. And we try to make it fun because we know that does get kind of competitive. So it's just, best smile, craziest hair, different things like that. Just makes it a fun event for the family. We do have our carnival as well. That's going on all 3 days. I know every family always looks for that carnival ride wristband special, so that is going on Saturday and Sunday from 1 until 5. So it's 4 hours, $20, unlimited rides during that time on both of those days.
Okay, there's a lot going on at Yorkville Hometown Days Festival this year. New and expanded, great entertainment. They keep stepping it up in the city of Yorkville, and the Parks and Rec Department is really hoping that you'll come out and enjoy their their festival grounds with them. You can't beat the Beecher Community Park. It's expansive, it's beautiful. Of course, you have the indoor Beecher Center as well, so you can beat the heat, you can have fun with the family, and we can't even scratch the surface of the fun things that they've got going on. So I want to thank Shay Remus for being here and Tim Evans for being here as well to talk about this great festival. Don't go away. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about Smallville Superfest. There's a lot going on here in the Fox Valley, and it's great to be here on Fox Valley in Focus with you.
Everyone has friends. There's online friends, friends to go out with on a Saturday night, friends to hang out with and do nothing, friends who show up on moving day. And then there are the friends who'll be there if someone is dealing with a mental illness. Are you one of those friends? It can be a little awkward when your friend tells you he's been diagnosed with a mental illness. But what's even more awkward is, if you're not there for him, he's less likely to recover.
I'm here to help, man, whatever it takes.
Bob Hausler is the mayor of the city of Plano, and he's here to talk about Plano's Smallville Superfest. Superfest, of course, is coming up August 14th, 15th, and 16th in downtown Plano. Bob, thanks for being here. Tell us a little. Oh, yes.
Thank you for having us here today.
Well, it's great to have you here, and I want to talk a little bit about the history of Superfest. How did this come about?
Well, in 2011, we had Warner Brothers in our downtown, and they filmed a little movie called Superman, Man of Steel. And after the filming and all the excitement that brought to the city as far as the set construction and everyone in the city being excited about it, I thought it'd be great if we had a festival commemorating the movie being filmed in Plano. So we gathered a group of volunteers together, and it was in the fall of 2011 that we decided to have what we called Smallville Superfest, and in 2012 was its first year.
And that was pretty exciting to have that happen. You know, it was such a magical time to be in the city of Plano as that city turned into a movie set. And then it's the best, I don't know, maybe a minute or so of film for all of us to watch our downtown get destroyed, but we sure enjoy watching it in the movie.
Oh, yeah. And we also have the Smallville Museum, which is in our depot.
I wanted to ask you about the museum. That kind of developed out of the feeling that everybody wanted to hang on to it, right?
Sure. And we had so many different props that we were able to save from the movie. And so those props are on display in the museum, plus other items from the movie.
Well, I like the fact that it's in the depot because that's a historic building, and you go into a lot of small towns in America and the depot's just forgotten, but it really is a showplace for the city of Plano. It also has some history of the city as well, not just Smallville, not just the Smallville chapter of Plano, but the entire city's history.
Yes, our Plano Past historical group has their displays in the depot also. And there's a lot of great things about our history that are displayed.
In the next few minutes, we're going to talk with Brad Gardner, one of the members of your committee for the Smallville Superfest, and find out a little bit more about the schedule highlights. But I wanted to ask you specifically about the museum. It will be open during the festival, won't it?
Yes, it will. Normally, we have the museum open the first and third Saturday of every month from 8 to 3. During the festival, we will have the museum open from 5 to 9 on Friday, the 14th, and from 10 till 6 on Saturday.
And I know during Smallville Superfest, you have a lot of elements that you pull together to make it feel like you're back in the movie set. You take the city and you pull it back to being Smallville.
Sure, we have a few people that come around that are dressed in costume as superheroes. We have that scheduled. We also have a special attraction set for our museum that I'd rather not say right now, but the people that come to the museum will definitely like what we have in store.
You've got a little teaser, you're not going to let us know.
Right.
Okay. And something else I saw on the schedule of events, I was on your website looking it up, and I think I just typed in Smallville Superfest and I found it online.
Sure, it's smallvillesuperfest.com if anyone needs to go there.
Well, one of the things I saw on the schedule was something I didn't know, and I wanted to ask you about it. It's called Lanterns in Memory. What is that?
Lanterns in Memory will actually be balloons filled with helium, and they'll have a light in them, and they're for people that would like to remember.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's really sweet.
This is something new that we've added this year, and we thought it would be a good addition to the event.
So for any reason, in honor of a person or in memory of a person?
Yes, yeah.
That's the thing about Plano. It's a very heart-filled community, and there's a lot of love for their neighbors, and that's one of the things that makes it special. This is something different than I haven't seen at any other festival.
Yeah, and we're trying to do things to make it a unique event. You know, it's family-orientated, and that's the way we want to keep it.
Okay, Mayor Bob Hausler, our guest today. We're going to talk more about Smallville Superfest in just a minute. Stay with us.
I remember how much you said you liked wine.
Oh.
You don't have to be perfect to be a perfect parent. There are thousands of teens in foster care who would love to put up with you.
Real men know that getting tested is the way to take care of their families. That's why real men wear gowns. For a list of the tests you need, go to ahrq.gov.
Brad Gardner is a member of the Plano Smallville Superfest Committee, and Brad hopefully is going to give us all the highlights. I know that Mayor Hausler has told us that there's some surprises in the schedule that he's not going to reveal. But Brad, thanks for being here to tie up the loose ends and get us excited about this year's Superfest.
Well, thank you for inviting me here. It's going to be a fun time. We're looking forward to it.
You were telling me that you've been part of the committee since the beginning of Superfest, and so that's got to be kind of fun just watching the festival grow.
It was interesting with all the activity going on during the filming, and then when we were given the suggestion that we start a festival up, I jumped on it. I said, yeah, I got to be involved in that.
Now, do you have specific duties on the committee that you take charge of?
We sort of all do a lot of different things. It's kind of a small committee. My basic job is to do some of the artwork and the advertising and graphics and that type of thing. I put together our brochures. I do the posters and that type of stuff.
Okay.
I did not design this.
Oh, you're not in charge of souvenirs.
No, we had another gentleman, and we voted on several different designs for the official logo.
Yeah, it's a fun shirt. I like it.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah. So tell us, what can we expect this year at Superfest? It's going to be in August. The 14th, 15th, 16th is a Friday night.
That's correct.
All day Saturday.
Correct.
All day Sunday.
Most of the day Sunday. Sunday is sort of a wind down day. And forgive me if I read some things from my list here, but there's a lot going on. I can't remember everything.
Okay, so Friday night.
Friday during the day, we have set up starting early for vendors. So we've got quite a few vendors coming in. But at 5 o'clock, it officially starts with our opening ceremonies. We'll have Mayor Bob and a variety of other things going on with the opening ceremonies. We're going to have 95.9 The River radio station there remote. We have a cruise night going on starting around that same time, so there'll be a bunch of neat old cars and things for everybody to look at. It's all family oriented. There's a street dance starting around, and excuse me, this is all in military time, so 20 o'clock is 8 o'clock. Okay, so 8 o'clock we have a street dance. We have, let me see, it's all kind of tentative at this point, but apparently we have Woody James.
Oh, he'll bring in a crowd. He's a
and
fantastic
Jody Up
performer.
is playing. He's always
Okay.
fun. We
Not
have one
heard of
called,
him.
We have one called Broken Ego, and then a 5-Star Fools. They played last year too.
Okay,
Jody
that's
has
a
been.
great lineup for Friday.
Yeah, that's 4 bands right there. What else have we got going on? We have a beer garden this year again. This is I believe our 2nd year for that. Q Bar is sponsoring a beer tent, so that's always nice, big attraction. And a couple of other things that are tentative. We don't know for sure on some of them, but that's about it for Friday.
What are you looking forward
It's fun.
to on Saturday?
Saturday, we have a whole day full of stuff, starting at around 10. We have WBIG will be there, remote. We have, I believe, the Kish Health, it's the new Kish Health Hospital, is sponsoring a kids' super inflatables.
Oh,
We
that'd
usually
be
have
fun.
about a half a block full of bouncy houses, the kids just have a ball with it. And other kids' games. We have these old-fashioned games that are done in booths, and they are run by various groups, most of them being church groups, and they're just old-fashioned games. Throw a ball and knock something over and win a prize.
Yeah,
that
the
type
old
of thing.
carnivals we used to enjoy when we
Yeah.
were kids.
Yeah,
That's great.
Exactly. The Legion Riders will have a Legacy Fund photo op there, like they did last year. Bunch of bikers hanging out and ready to pose with you on their motorcycles. We have a tour of Smallville, if anyone's interested in that, and they can come to the info tent, the main info tent. And there are a lot of different sites around Plano that were used in the movie. And people seem to be interested in going to, for instance, the Centennial School or the Methodist Church or any of those. The Depot, of course, is one of them. We have a bike safety rodeo going on. Hopefully we'll have a DJ during the day. What else? We've got a Villains Jail sponsored by Rural King.
So you're getting, it's mostly downtown Plano, but you've got the businesses and the community groups in the entire city are coming together to be part of it.
Yep.
And I know you have more entertainment Saturday night
We
as
do.
well.
Starting off with the zip line, actually, that's a big attraction. It's around 4 in the afternoon, 4:30 in the afternoon, zip line and a bungee, Euro bungee.
Oh yeah, because everybody wants to fly through
Those are a blast.
Smallville.
You can whoosh down Main Street in Smallville. That's fun. That's a big attraction. There's another auto show going on. So all sorts of things. We have Plano water, the fire department water fights. Of course, the beer tent is going again. The lineup for the band, we have the Dead River Band. If I can read it here, Tennessee Slim and the Whiskey Hounds. That's a good one. It's a new one for us. Rebel and Joker's Revel. So there's 4 more bands on Saturday.
And what about Sunday? What can we expect on Sunday?
Sunday, we have a lot going on Sunday morning. There is the Andrew Kiebrick 5K Hero Run, and that starts at either the police, I believe the police station, and that goes on for however long people are running, and there'll be awards after that. There's a worship service either at the beer tent, or if it's raining, or in Lathrop Park if it's nice out. There's a pancake breakfast going on as well, and a parade. And bluegrass guys are going to be playing music all afternoon, all morning and afternoon. It's
Fantastic
a lot going on.
Family festival. Brad, you've put together quite a schedule for us. Plano Superfest is coming up August 14th, 15th, and 16th. And I want to thank you for being here for Fox Valley Television. I'm Barb Nadeau.